Hello and welcome to another Starcraft 2 commentary video with Gom Jabbar. And here is another Terran versus Protoss matchup. This one is, I'm going to put it on my own vision once again, and we're going to see the decisions that I make and what this build is going to be. In the last video, we took a look at the 3-gate fast expand with some pressure and a contain. And this game is going to be a little different. We're going to look at the 1-gate fast expand that was recently featured on my channel with Naniwa, one of his games from MLG. And this is going to be my my use of the build on the ladder. So we're gonna check that out. Chrono boost and stuff. With this build, I'm actually not scouting after pylon. I just don't need to. Basically, my thought process is I'm gonna do the build unless it's close ground positions on this map, and that's all I really care about seeing. As long as it's not close ground, then I'm gonna do this fast expansion, and I should be able to defend anything. If it is close ground, of course, I will have to deviate and do a different build, probably 3-gate expand. And is he close ground positions? He's not. Alright. And I'm actually pretty sure Huck, when he does this, he scouts the other positions first, and then if the other opponent is not in cross map or close air, then he won't do the build. I'm not sure what the point of that is really, but in any case, I just scout cross map first, and as we will see, I'm going to pull my guys off of gas, and right when I have 56 gas, and that's exactly enough for warp gate. We get in here, I see one gas geyser, I see a marine. So right now this could be a variety of things. Could be a regular marauder or bio expand kind of thing. Could potentially be factory play, but not too likely. And I'm going to chrono boost a warp gate. Go back to mining gas as soon as I chrono boost that warp gate. And I've started the Nexus. And I am back to probe production at the moment. I'm pretty sure I should cut probes for the additional gateways at this point. Right when you hit about 20 supply. So you go back to making probes. I think I should have made a stalker first before this probe. Not a big deal. I like leaving this guy right here so I spot any attack. And of course, this build will not deviate at all. If, like, let's say he took this gas, what he could do is either bio or tech, and this build is actually strong against both of those. If he were doing, let's say, like a tank, Raven, Banshee, all in, some kind of insane thing like that, then this build is actually fine against that. It's not a big deal. And now Warp Gate's going to finish pretty shortly. There's a Reaper, but it's no big deal. I got the Stalker out in time. And we've got Warp Gate finishing. Stalker, Zealot. And my defense is easy. And right about now I should probably take the second gas. You do want to take your gases a little slower when you're doing this kind of build because you want a defense of Zealots and Stalkers early on. But once you have that, once you have Warp Gate up and everything, you can take the second gas, no problem. Here's my 1 sentry here so far. I do want to scout some more, see if he has expanded. You've got to keep scouting all game long like this, against Terran especially. And I see Marauder. That is pretty good. And he's down here, he's not advancing. I feel really comfortable right now. I think he's probably expanded. My expansion should be earlier. If you look at the supply counts, you can see that it is. And here's my robo going down. This could have been a faster robo. Oh. No robo. Instead of the robo, because I saw bio, I know there's no Banshee, no Cloak Banshee. And no bio. I mean, yeah, no factory play. And since I know there's no factory play, and I'm just dealing with bio, what I'm going to do is basically pure gateway. I don't need the robo. And I'm going to go for a 6-gate timing attack. And you could call it an all-in, I guess, also. It sort of is. Not gonna lie. So, basically what triggers me, I'm cutting at about, I guess, 40 workers. Is that right? Yeah, I'm cutting production. What triggers me to do this all-in? Essentially, he did a Reaper opening. That's the first thing. Which means stim is going to be really late. And we can see on the production tab that it is. His stim is going to be super late. And what that means is also his expansion went down after mine. So pretty much I'm going to be able to reach 2 base saturation, which I'm basically at, well before he will. And his production will be just ramping up. I mean, it takes Terran a little while to make add-ons and all their barracks, and Terran units don't reinforce as quickly as gateways. So there are some not ideal force fields, but okay ones. He has no bunker. If you're dealing with a 6-gate like this, like look at all these units I'm warping in. You're Terran, you don't have a bunker. That's game. Like, that's basically all there is. I'm just going to force field. He has stim, but who cares? You know, I just have so much stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Marauders against 11 Stalkers. The Marines are not even worth considering. So I'm just going to focus fire the Marauders, ignore the SCVs. I'm making a Hellion. I don't even know why. And yeah, this 6-gate is just way too powerful. So, take out the command center. There's the GG. Very quick game. And if we look at what the Terran has, he's only on 3 racks. He's going for double upgrade Ghost. And this is a good build. I'm not going to like say this is a bad build. It's just my timing attack is exactly designed to deal with this sort of thing. He only has 3. He's teching really hard. He only has 3 gateways, 3 barracks worth of production. I'm just going to run over him. So this is the first game. I'm actually going to look at a second one, which is basically the same thing, but we're going to look at what happens when the Terran actually does try to attack you early on. Because you might look at this and say, well, you have no units until Warp Gate finishes. How are you supposed to defend yourself? And I will demonstrate. So here is game 2. I played this the same day. It was 2 matches after that last game, as a matter of fact. And this is against a different Terran opponent in Diamond. So the basic idea of this build is, you know, we're doing a fast expansion as long as it's not close positions. We are not making units until we've got our nexus down and we've got 3 gateways up. So my opponent in this game is going to be J-Ski. And once again, I'm planning to scout close positions and then deviate if I have to. Hopefully will not be necessary. There's a pylon, not scouting yet. And yeah, I'll be scouting after the gateway. I would say that the only thing this build is really bad against would be some kind of Marine SCV all-in. That is it. And I dare say that build would just counter this one completely. So make sure that you do spot them taking a gas and doing something different. So there's a gateway. I'm going to scout. Chrono boosting probes again. There's my gas. And he is not in close spots. That means that I can do the one gate expand. Putting guys in gas to mine only 50. We will see that shortly. Second pylon should go down pretty shortly. Oh, it already is down. Fantastic. There is the cybernetics core. Now he's going to spot me pull guys off gas here. So if he knew this build, and I'm not, I don't know if he did or not, he ought to know exactly what I'm doing. Now what should Terran do here? As I said, probably just Marine SCV all in. Now by the time I get there, I ought to be able to scout something like that. At least I hope so. Let's see what I do see. I see 2 Marines. I can't get up the ramp. That's unfortunate. So there's a Nexus going down. He hasn't seen it yet. He sees warp gate. He sees gas being mined again. Yeah, so the telltale signs for this build as a Terran player, it's easy to spot. It's pretty easy to see build. So just keep that in mind. Throwing down up to 3 total gateways is going to make my Stalker next. Then resume probes. And I want to get the Stalker out pretty fast to deal with any Reapers, if he chooses to do that. The Nexus is down. It's going to finish very soon. Maybe he shouldn't have chrono boosted that Stalker. Not 100% sure on that one, but I should have one more warp gate chrono boost. Now this probe is going to go out and occupy the tower. Or at least it's going to try to. It is a little bit contested. But the Stalker is going to come clean up. Yeah. Warp gate is finished. And now to warp in Zealot, Stalker, Stalker. Very obvious, very easy to do. And now I scout that his expansion's not down yet. I'm going to poke up the ramp. Whoa, that's a lot of stuff. SCVs, Marines, Marauders, holy crap, gotta run. So, Terran sees my super fast expo and he is going to pressure. Fantastic. I'd like to point out really quickly the difference between Terran and Protoss when they do a pressure expand. If you're Protoss, as we saw in my last video, you can expand after Terran and make more gateways than he has barracks. And you can actually just pressure him and contain him in his base. A lot of the time you can even force him to lift off a command center. If you're Terran and you're trying to pressure Protoss by expanding later, it's not going to work. Look at this. It's awesome. And I'm just doing some Gosu micro here. No problem. I pretty much just make... I made 5 Stalkers, but you want to make around 4 or 5 Stalkers. Maybe 4. And then just warp in nothing but Zealots. And what you do is he has to kite your Zealots and you just target fire the Marauders with the Stalkers. And it's really easy. You just keep reinforcing the Zealots, really cheap. Your stalkers should not be dying at all. You should micro them back. And I'm on to gas now at my main. I have the tower putting a pylon down. I'm preparing to do my 6 gate. And again, my trigger to that makes me think I should do this all in is that I expanded a lot later, and particularly because I just killed a whole bunch of his units. Or he expanded later, yeah. So I see him expanding a lot later. That means my 2 base production will ramp up a lot sooner than his. He'll be sitting on probably 3 or 4 barracks. And it's just going to be very hard for him to match my production with the 6 gate. If Terran players are watching this and thinking, how the heck do I defend this? Bunkers, basically. You need a ton of bunkers. Here's one. Here's a single bunker. Let's see how this works. This is more than our last opponent had. Maybe it'll be good. Zealots first. Okay, here's a second bunker. Not too bad. Target fire the bunker. He has 1 Marauder. He really overestimates this army here. And now he has some SCVs back here. And my Guardian Shield. Well, he's doing a pretty good repair job. I've got to micro these stalkers back. Lost 1 there. But, yeah, I just have too many. Of course, you can have sentries and force field around the bunker, but my sentries died, so I just kept making stalkers. You might, another thing to consider here is that typically Marauders are just really, Marauders are so good against gateway units that you don't want to make stalkers here. A lot of people will like to do this Zealot Sentry thing and just force field a lot. Use the Zealots to take care of the bio. And you might wonder how you distinguish between when you should be making a lot of stalkers like this and when you should make a lot of Zealots. The answer is depending on his Marauder production. So let's go to the Everyone Cam. Look at what is in the Terran's base. Well, disregarding his macro a little bit, he has 2 barracks. He's making a 3rd. It's pretty not good. Typically, though, what's going to happen is Terran will not have a tech lab on every one of his barracks. A lot of them open with 1 reactor, 1 tech lab barracks. And that means their Marauder count's not going to be that high. For every Marine they make, that's kind of a waste, really, past the super early game. So, if you can suspect that your opponent won't have 3 barracks all making Marauders, then if you have 3 gateways all making stalkers, you're actually, if you target fire down the Marauders, you'll have an advantage anyway. So it's not that big a deal when you're doing this sort of gateway versus barracks play. Late game, when they're making nothing but Marauders, of course stalkers are pretty terrible against that. So that's something to keep in mind. Interestingly, I actually threw down another gateway that I didn't use or need. I guess you could say I needed it, but well, no, I have some warp ends right now. Oh, when you do your 6 gate, you don't take these gas at your natural. You just don't do that. So that's another key part. And I should be chrono boosting. I'm not at all. So just, look at how terribly I'm doing this. I'm not chrono boosting. I made an extra gateway, and I'm still crushing through these guys. And it's all mostly virtue of the fact that I expanded a lot earlier. So my 2 base production is just hitting much faster than Terran's will. If we expand at the same time, or Terran even expands slightly earlier, which will happen a lot too, then this 6 gate won't be as strong. Like if Terran does a 1 Rax expand, you do the 3 gate expand, and you can't contain or pressure the Terran very well, 6 gate won't be strong there. So you should only really do it when you have this type of opening that you've successfully defended and Terran has expanded later than you have. So that's going to wrap it up with these 2 pretty short games today. Taking a look at the 1 gate, no unit fast expand into a 6 gate timing attack. very strong strategy. This is pretty much what I think Huang Xin was really good at, the 6-gate type of build that he used in TL Open, so that's a player you should look at. Day9 did a daily on that, so definitely something to check out. And I will see you later in the next series of videos. Hopefully we'll be looking at more Protoss vs. Terran in a couple more videos. So see you guys next time.